up, y'all? It's your boy AJ, and this is AJ Reacts 2. And before I get the video started, make sure you head down, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Today, we are going to be talking about Frozen 2. We're going to talk about things I liked about it, some things that were and then some things I kind of didn't care for. I'm so excited, so let's go! Unpopular opinion. I didn't care for Frozen 1 at all. I saw it maybe a year after it came out. The hype, it was so much hype. They said this was the best Disney movie ever. You'll never see a better Disney movie than Frozen. And I watched it. I said, I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I don't get the, okay, there were some songs that were kind of catchy. But now, like, after so long, they played out Let It Go. They played out so many of the songs on there. Do You Want to Build a Snowman was my favorite song on the soundtrack, but now it's just kind of like, I don't want to ever hear any Frozen 1 songs ever again. I was not that excited for Frozen 2. I said, I better watch this, go in with a clean slate. Okay, this is not Frozen 1. I had to keep in my mind, this is not Frozen 1. They're going to do something different. So let's just check it out. And I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I really enjoyed it. There were some things that were kind of nothing I really strictly disliked about this film. I don't want to give too much away because there is a huge spoiler at the end. There's a huge thing that happens at the end of the film that is very questionable. People didn't really care for it. I knew that it was something that it was a huge decision made by the characters, and it was kind of it felt a little spontaneous. Yes, I understood why it needed to be done. It was kind of hinted at throughout the whole movie. I don't want to give it away, but it was definitely fresh. It wasn't something that was too cliche. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the review. Starting with the story, it's different. It's definitely different than your typical Disney princess film. Frozen 1 was as well, because I feel like Disney really wanted to make sure they weren't targeting girls, targeting girls only. And they made a princess movie. And it was for everyone. And this is not something that happens all the time. You got Sleeping Beauty, you got Cinderella, you got all these women protagonist films in Disney, and they are geared towards girls. And this film was not necessarily geared towards girls. Tangled was the same way. I was actually talking to my mom the other day about it, and she was like, oh, that girly movie? I was like, hold up. Frozen is not a girly movie. I know that they're trying to get away from labels and try to get away from, making things solely for a specific gender or geared towards a specific gender. But this film does a great job, I feel like, of making everyone feel included, making sure that it's not totally geared towards girls. It is, I feel like it is kind of glamorous. It's kind of a glamorous film, but it's not overwhelming. And the story was fresh. And the reason why I say that is because there was no villain. No villain. That's so different for a Disney movie. Like, almost every Disney movie has a villain, but really, it's about kind of like this forest, this enchanted forest, and Elsa is drawn to it. We're trying to figure out why she's so drawn to it. We find out some things about her past, about her parents' past that we didn't know before. And it's just really like, it kind of kept me at the edge of my seat. And I'm like, this is really good. Anna and Elsa's relationship, the sisterly bond that they have, it was done magnificently, and it was kind of the focal point of the film. And I know that the first one kind of was like that too, but I felt like the first one, they were kind of chasing after each other, and it wasn't really, they didn't really show that bond. Something that was a little off-putting and something that they could have done a little bit better with is Kristoff's character. Throughout the film, the story of the film, he's wanting to propose to Anna, and he couldn't really find the words to do it. She keeps getting distracted when he's trying to propose to her, and that happens throughout the whole film. And it's just kind of like, we could use Kristoff in a different way in this film. Like, he kind of was on the back burner. I don't know. He had his own song, and that song was extremely lackluster. Probably my least favorite songs of the film. I feel like maybe in a standalone that it would be okay, but in the context of the film, it just wasn't great. There were some songs that were just spectacular in this movie. Songs that were just really enticing, very enticing. None of them were extremely catchy though. Nothing like Let It Go. Let It Go was a great song, just very, 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 very overplayed. The use of magic over this film and the enchanted forest, it just was so visually stunning. When I started watching the movie, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make a review about this film. It's just kind of like, Frozen 2, like I didn't really care for Frozen, and then they had some shorts that were very lackluster. But as I started watching the film and I hear the music and then I see these visuals that are just so stunning, I said, oh yes, I have to make a review. The visuals were so stunning, and like the way the magic was used in the movie, and it just, that's why they call it movie magic, y'all. Moving on to the characters. Anna and Elsa were the main characters of this film, as they were on the first film. But this, like I said, their bond was so enticing and very intriguing. And it was just a wonderful relationship. And it really showed like a sisterly bond. I loved it. It was kind of fresh. We don't really see that in any other movies. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I really haven't seen a Disney movie that really showed a sibling bond as much as Frozen has, and Frozen 2. The characters, like I said, Kristoff, I feel like they should have used him more in the story and not had him have this weird side story that was going on throughout the whole movie and not really even paying attention to, he's not really even paying attention to what's happening in this moment in the film. Like, it's just really weird. I'm not the biggest fan on Olaf. I liked how they used him on this film more than they did on the first film, but I still didn't really get very attached to this character. A lot of people did, not me. So overall, I would give this film an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this film. It was different. It was fresh. It was new. It wasn't something that was so cliche that we, kind of push it to the side. I feel like this is kind of it opened doors for Disney movies, I feel like, without being very upfront about it. It kind of is like, you don't have to have a villain in a Disney movie. You don't have to. And it still can be a good movie. And I think that's really what they wanted to show. And they did a good job of it. You made it to the end of my review. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys. I have a giveaway going on. If you want to win some awesome Marvel stuff, like this video, smash that subscribe button, share on social media, and make sure you tag me so I know that you shared it. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.